Hey, this is Steven from LegitTechTutorials, and welcome back to my product design series. We are back working on CodeFlow Fridays, or the CodeFlow project. I call the series CodeFlow Fridays because I work on it once every Friday, every week on Fridays. We are back working on it. We are looking again at our Trello at the current situation and what we are working on. So right now we're working on the markup system, which is the basic UI. Again, we are modeling it after Trello. So we are getting this add list button to work by clicking on it and it moving over, right? So when you click on it, it adds this thing and then pushes the button over. So like when I did these, that's what it did. You add the list and it moves over. So again, let me show you that action. Add list. On mine, I'm not going to have it do this. I'm just going to have it push the button over. So you say blah, 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 whatever. And then you hit save. And what it'll do is I'm probably also not going to have it do this where it's automatic. But as you see, now it's got that and the add list right next to it. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here. So again, let's go back to the actual project. So as you see here, when we go in, we have it working to where if we hit add segment, it will indent the distance of this piece and it will add a clone segment. But now what we need to do is we need to have the clone segment parent itself to the content viewport, right? And then also I believe scaling was also an issue, if I could remember correctly. And also we needed to have it set the correct position so it does all that correctly, because now the segment bar, copy component, and segment bar clone, paste component values. Let me select the segment bar, there it is. So now of course this guy, and as you see this is not indented correctly. These are identical sizes, so I need to have it where it indents that proportional to the size of the piece. So I'll go back and change that, but as you see from the first one to the second one, segment bar. Also, the segment bar is not supposed to be part of the other segment bar. So here with segment bar, it is, I guess you'd say it's not the viewport. It would be this. This one is 190 wide. And then this is now at position of negative 40x, and that is 160 across, negative 160. It's kind of weird that it's, oh no, it's only a little bit, it's yeah, 160 plus a little bit. So that's what we need to do, and we have it set up here. So one of the things in gap, add segment button, new 60. So this is probably gonna have to be like 200 or something, or whatever this is. It says here, oh, segment bar is 200. So you had 200 plus gap. Let's go ahead and build that. While it's building, now run this. And then now that should be significant enough to work. Okay, so again, I have I commented it before I left that last video, so we could look at that. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. So what we still need to do, parent the segment's view to the content section of the segment bar, of the segments, content section. Oh, I already have, okay. Get the previous segment bar's location position So copy and paste the values of that content of the segment bar to of the first segment bar to the second segment bar. Then get the previous segment bar's local position and set the new segment bar's local position to the previous segment bar's position. And add the indentation what I want to indent. So we instantiated it. Now we need to parent it. So now we need to parent in parent unity transform.parent. Player.transform.parent equals new parent.transform. New parent player.transform.parent equals new parent.transform. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have it child object parent equals new equals parent object dot transform. Okay, so what I'll do let's go ahead and copy and paste this. Child object equals parent object. So here I want the segment segments section. I'll have to go back in here. I'll rename this. I'll call this I'll just have this as the original segment bar. So I'll call this a segment bar, and then I'll get its parent and reparent it. Oh, that's what that was. That is the prefab. That's the prefab, and then we'll say parent what I'll do is I'll attach I'll come up with another script for right now, C# script. I'll say this is the segment bar control, and in this runtime what I'll do is I'll have it automatically parent itself to itself, I guess you'd say. So what I'm going to do is this is just going to have the instantiate, and then this is going to have in its start. So every single time you create a new object, and then obviously I'm going to have to parent that in there and then put that back in the prefab, is I'm going to need to have it automatically child itself to the segment bar's parent, right? Oh, I already did that. So here we're going to have and this is going to be called original segment bar, and then this is going to be this dot whatever its child object So there'd be this transform parent is equal to the segment bar control. Oh, this is capped. Segment bar. Wait. This is the original segment bar. Original segment bar. Transform. And then this will probably have to have a move. So it would go in here and move itself accordingly. No. Excuse me. Maybe I could have like a running pointer, so that every single time that so every single time that this goes in, it has a pointer to the last segment bar, and it will actually move it over, or it have a running counter inside here. That'll be another thing that I could do. So I could have a running counter inside here, and then this will automatically add that to it. And it'll send that over to this. It'll send that over to the segment bar here. So when it parents it, so let's just see if it parents it correctly. So we're going to build this, and then obviously every single time we change this, we're going to have to update the prefab so it actually does what we want it to do. So we're going to go into scripts, segment bar control. We're going to drop it into this segment bar. Now that the segment bar has it, it's actually going to be itself as the original segment bar. Segment bar. So it's just going to parent it to its own parent, so it basically does nothing. And then we're going to need to attach that to the prefab again, re-update the prefab, segment bar. So now that has the prefab in it, so now when we create it, it should have a segment bar rect transform. Okay, so now when we hit play, it shouldn't do anything, which it didn't, okay. But now if I do this, and it didn't. Curious. So parent rect transform. Child x.transform.set parent. let's try this. So this, which is the child, that's set parent. To a game object. So this will be segments view. And so this is going to be segments view. Well, this is segments view content. Okay. Let's build all. So that's curious why this does it correctly. Oops. But the next one won't. So I need to update. Oh, the none is not. Segments bar content. Segments view content. Right, transform. Okay. And here. I don't know why that ain't working. Okay, something happened. Okay, so let me do that. What if I just duplicate this in-game and then check it? Basically, see if it does what I want it to do. Boom! Okay, so I mean it works there. Okay, so I mean it basically works once I get the prefab to work. I mean that's all I really care about right now. And then what I need it to do is I need it to stop parents. So I don't know which one of these works. Maybe I'll check. And then if one works, just use that one. If the other one works, use the other one. Okay, so yeah, that one doesn't work. So now yeah, that one works. Get rid of that one. Okay. Alright, so that's one part. Then the next part is, we're at 20 minutes just doing one line, but that's how every community goes sometimes. Okay. Next part is to send it is to have it go to the previous position. So this dot What do I do on this one? Set. So let's just do this. Pretty much. And it's just going to be a whole bunch of this stuff. So, this is going to be this. This dot local. Add segment button. Oh, okay, so I think it's this dot. Yeah. So because this is a game object. So you need to tell it to go into game object. I think it's supposed to be rect transform technically, because the add segment button is a rect transform. So I think this is going to be this rect transform dot local position. Or maybe it is. I'll figure it. I'll see it. This dot transform dot local position X. I don't want any gap. And this is not supposed to be this. This is supposed to be the original segment R. Original segment R. Original segment R. It's not like these are not asking for the transform. Rect transform Okay, well, ah. Yeah, so there is this object.get blah blah blah, whatever. So that's what I thought you were supposed to do, just do that pretty simply, this object dot whatever. Okay, so let's do this. Oops. I want to get rid of the whole thing. Again, my paste is not working. Alright, well let's just get rid of the rest of this stuff. And we'll copy and paste this down into there. Actually, my freaking paste isn't gonna work, so might as well just Is that an error, or is that... Oh. It says get position. It is a method, and it needs this. There we go. Hallelujah. Okay. Now, if I go back in here, oops. And segment bar is still not doing anything. So let's do some debug lines here. So let's say print let's just say original segment bar dot local position dot x, and just print that out. And after this, 30 minutes now, so we're just going to get this to work. Oops. I'm going to say this dot transform in the local position. Could I do public rec transform? It's because I'm not. Huh. Okay. Okay, so it says that the original segment bar, is it even set? Okay, so it just had an issue with the getting. So I think what it was doing is it was automatically setting itself. Okay, but if you go in here and you set this, take the segment bar and then move this as the original segment bar in there. And that's just fine. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the original segment bar plus a gap of 160 or whatever. 190, 200, something like that. And then I'm going to say this is, and then we're going to have public gap is equal to 200. So when it goes in here, local position plus X plus the gap. Okay, so now when I go back in here, test it out, and move both. Oh, because it added on that one. Okay, so now how do I get it to not... I could just delete that original, in this original component here. Okay, this doesn't technically have to have it, so I can just delete this. move that component. Now when it starts, it should do it correctly. Yep. Too much. I think it's supposed to be 190, right? Gap of 190. 190. Still too much. Oops. I don't think I built it. Anyways, that's perfect. Perfect gap. So now what we're going to try to do is drop that into the segment bar. Hopefully the segment bar updates, which it doesn't. Which is super annoying. Tempted just to create an entire new one. Prefab. Segment bar 2, nothing in there. Drag this segment bar in there. Yeah. So what happens when I drag one in? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I might do that today so we don't have to mess around with it later, because the prefab is going to be a problem. Alright, well, we got them to instantiate on the last video. We got it in this video to parent, and we also got it to move to the location of the previous one and then add a gap. So now what we need to do is we need to get it to be able to do that out of a prefab, so we can instantiate it by hitting the add segments. And when we hit the add segments on the what we could also do is we could get the component by name, which is probably what we're going to end up doing, is just getting the component by name and parenting it that way. So it'll get whatever parent is inside of the hierarchy and set it as the parent, and then just do it from there by having it, parent and then move to a specific thing inside. So that way we don't have to worry about this referencing issue, and it could save it as whatever. So when we run, it will go in here and push these variables in there by component name. So yeah, we'll probably do it that way. So that way we don't have to do the whole public thing. It might be, they're all public, so that can't be an issue. And then from there, what we need to do is, now that we figured that out, let's go ahead and do that. Uh-oh. Alright, I'll figure this out. Yeah, so we'll be doing a few more things with it. We're going to be basically copying what we're doing here to be when we are in a segment bar and we hit the add segment button, it will add a box, which is basically a card that you see in this one, where it's got a card like this. So when you hit add card, it drops down, and then the add card will move. So here, add card, the card moves here, add card, the card moves there. So basically do the exact same thing downwards. And then a few other things that we need to do is that when you scale the screen, what it will do is it will figure out how big the new screen size is, and it will set each of those lists, in this case lists, in our case segments, each of those segments and action bars to be equal distances until the side of the screen, so that when you, and then also have a minimum width so that it's readable, and then once it gets to a point where it has to scale towards unreadable, it will just move it to the other page, like this, where you move it to the other page. So here they don't scale at all. These are just, they just sit there and they do this. But if I only had like 2 cards, I would like it to fully scale to where we could see everything. So scale to the whole screen. Or maybe we could do it like this, a little bit easier, just to have it non-scale. So as you see it, when I move the screen, nothing happens. Right? I mean, this toolbar up here scales, but the boxes themselves don't. So there's a few more things that we have to do. Not as the Unity fought back a little bit more today than most days, so you can get a lot more done. But we're getting to figure this out, and once we figure this out, we're going to figure the rest of it out pretty quickly, because that's just duplicated as far as the actions in there and the add action. Alright guys, this has been Steven from LegitTechTutorials. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe for more videos like it in this series and other series as well. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.